Hey guys, TN.Frank here. I want to bring you a real quick video. Been kind of procrastinating on this. That's something that we tend to do with ADD. We procrastinate a lot. I've been wanting to do a video for a couple weeks on this subject. I'm finally going to get around to it. It's going to be kind of a mishmash of everything. Not only going to talk about guns, we're going to talk about the beer flu and a few other things. I mean, just stuff that's been on my mind. First and foremost, I did get new grips on the Springfield Loaded. And you can see here I picked up a set of the Cool Hand blue grips. And they look real good against that stainless. You can see in the picture. And I did get 3 of the Metgar nickel-plated magazines. I was lucky enough to find them online. So I picked 3 of those up, the 8-round magazines. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And as you know, I've kind of moved back into like the revolver and 1911 platform. I got bored with the polymer guns. Nothing else to say. I mean, I can't really put it any other way. I've owned probably every kind of polymer striker fired gun you can think of. Glocks, Smith & Wessons, Walthers, CZ. And it's not that they're not good guns. They're really excellent guns for what they are. Current Bedside Gun is a polymer striker fired gun. It's my Beretta APX. I like it because I set it up, if you watch my video, in the Centurion platform. So it takes a 15 round mag for standard, and I did pick a 17 round full size up that works perfectly fine in the gun. It's got a rail. I can put a light on it. I got that Olight PL Mini 2 Valkyrie on it. So for a bedside gun, it works good. Where, bump in the night, you don't know what you'll be facing. I want a lot of rounds on tap, and that gives me 18 rounds. But for just general use, these guys right here work real good. Everyday carry, like around the house, this little pocket holster, and this is hot. But yeah, my little Smith & Wesson, I like the latch back here. Slip it down in that pocket holster, goes in a pocket. I don't even know it's there half the time. It's just that simple to carry. Also, for when I'm out and about, I've been using this guy as my EDC. It's in the Blackhawk leather holster with the clip. I don't like that loop they have. But yeah, this is a nice, it's my Springfield Range Officer Compact. 7-round Trips Research magazine. So I got 7 in 1, which generally that's going to be your loadout in a full size 7 in 1, although I do have the 8-round. But in this holster, it's very comfortable. These things weigh in unloaded at like 29 ounces. So they're not that much heavier than your polymer striker fired. Yeah, round counts a little bit less, but honestly, I think 45 makes up for it. And we'll touch on that a little bit too. That's something I want to talk about. And while we're on the subject, I know with modern ammo, 9mm works great. You get a good quality hollow point. It's going to go in, it's going to expand, it's going to dump energy, it's going to do a good job. What about those times when it clogs up with cloth or doesn't expand? Now what do you got? You basically got a 35 caliber hole that you're cutting through something. With these 45s, even if it doesn't expand, I got almost a half-inch hole. 45 caliber, I mean, it's 5 caliber shy of a half-inch. And if the hollow points do work, which hopefully they will, now I've got the expansion. I'm cutting a big hole, putting a lot of energy on target. So part of the reason that I've gone back to 45, and I was always a 45 kind of guy, and part of the reason I've gone back to it is because I don't have to rely on expansion. I don't have to have a magic bullet open up and do its job to get that large hole. Larger holes bleed more. When they bleed more, you incapacitate somebody quicker. So that's a big reason I've gone back to 45. Like I said, I've always been a 45 kind of guy. First handgun I ever owned when I was 18 was a 58 Remington cap and ball. They call it a 44. It actually takes 4.51 round balls, so it's really a 45. I've owned a lot of 1911s in the past. Like I said, I had an issue kind of with cocked and locked carry. I'm over that. It's not bothering me a bit this time. And I like the platform. It's thin. It's comfortable. The triggers on 1911s cannot be beat. Even the best striker fired triggers that I've had have never compared to these out-of-the-box Springfield triggers. And that adds to a lot of accuracy. I'm cutting groups with these second time out that it would take 3 or 4 times to get working with the striker-fired guns. And even then, striker-fired guns, groups are actually a little bit larger. If you look at my past videos and compare groups with the latest videos I've done with these Springfield 1911s. And that brings us to another subject. Within the next couple months, I'm thinking about buying another Springfield 1911. I'm really liking the quality. I'm liking the accuracy and all the features you get for the money. And I've kind of boiled it down to 2. One is the range officer operator, which is going to be full-size, Parkerized 1911 with a rail. And I know a lot of you guys, sacrilegious rail on a 1911. I want a rail for one reason. I would like to be able to use the 45 as a home defense round also. Because it is larger and low velocity, I think I'm going to get a lot less muzzle blast and a lot less noise from something like that. It'll be more of a boom instead of that higher pitch sound you get from the smaller calibers. So I'd like that ability. Plus, as a woods gun, if I go, hiking, camping, whatever, I'd like to have a 45. And it's good to have a light, especially if you're camping at night and something is coming into the campsite. It's good to be able to identify whatever it is. That being said, there's also another option I've been looking at. And that's the Range Officer Elite in 10 millimeter. Now, I've owned 10 millimeters in the past. It's been some 22 years ago, 1998 or so. I had a Glock 20 and a Glock 29, both at the same time. Enjoyed shooting both of them. Stuff for hand loading 10 was a bit limited back then, though. Pretty much 175 grain Nosler hollow points was all you could really get. It's changed now. I mean, there's a ton of bullet options for 40 cal 10 millimeter. So I am kind of kicking that idea around. Pros are going to be energy. It's going to be another caliber. So you know how things are right now. As of August 12th, 2020, ammo can be kind of hard to find, even for those who hand load. I'm having trouble finding bullets to load 45 cases I've got prepped. So this would be another caliber, so I'd have more options to get ammunition. And like I said, the energy, the power of that 10 millimeter, and plus it would be a really nice gun just to add to the collection. That way I'll have a 38, a 9, a 10, and a 45. 4 calibers, plus my wife's, 327 Federal mag and a 22 she has. But on the negatives, it is going to be another caliber that I'll have to load. So I'll have to get loading dies, I'll have to acquire some brass, I'll have to find bullets. I do have primers and powder that'll work, so that's not an issue. But I'm just I'm on the fence, and I'm sure once I make up my mind and get what I get, I'll do the video, I'll post it, and you guys will see it. But yeah, that's something else I've been kind of kicking around thinking about. And it's crazy. Once you get into 1911, they are kind of addictive. You got to get more. I was even kicking around the idea of maybe a 9mm 1911, but it just don't seem right to me. 1911s have always traditionally been the large bore handguns, 45s, even 10s, would work. So yeah, that's something to look for future. Also, ran across a real interesting video on YouTube, and I'll try to post a link to it down below so y'all can watch it. But I took a screenshot of some of the numbers, and these are some of the facts right now about beer flu. And I know this probably get me banned from YouTube or something. They've been real bad about not wanting to hear the truth. But if you can see this chart, I don't know if you'll have high def enough to see it, but you can see the majority of deaths, and it says deaths with COVID. It doesn't necessarily say deaths from COVID, but deaths with COVID have generally been your 55 and up group, which I'm 59, so I'm in there. But the real majority have been the 75 and up. And most of these cases, from what they were saying on the video, are people that have had pre-existing conditions. There's stage 4 pancreatic cancer, all kinds of different conditions where, they're going to die within a year anyway, just because of what's going on with their physical health. And they get COVID, and it exacerbates the situation, and so they end up passing on sooner than the year. But percentage of age groups here, you can see you don't even get a percentage until you get 15 to 24. Before that, it's such a low amount of deaths per overall deaths that it registers as a 0%. So with all this this garbage they keep saying about, we're not sure we want to send kids back to school because, they could spread the virus. No, 14 years and under, it's practically zero for the death rate. So I don't understand what the issue is. And even, college-age kids and under, it's 0.2%. That is such a low percentage that it's a non-issue. I honestly think after the elections and after President Trump wins again by a landslide, and I really hope he does, with what's going on with Biden's pick, Kamala Harris, really? She didn't even do well in the presidential, the primaries for the Democratic Party. Adding her to the ticket, I don't see where that's going to help. But once President Trump wins, I honestly think November 5th, all this COVID stuff's going to go away. It'll be pretty much over with. I really hope so, because I'm getting sick and tired of having to wear a mask everywhere I go. It's a proven fact. Masks do not really do that much good. They're not that beneficial. I see people driving their cars or walking their dog wearing a mask. Come on, people. This is not an airborne disease. This is something where someone sneezes on you that has it and then you get it. It's not just floating around like pollen. So enough with this, paranoia and mask wearing everywhere you go. But yeah, I wanted to kind of say that, get that out there. And then as far as distro of choice, still hitting the Linux front a little bit. You see I'm still running a KDE desktop and still running Debian. I did upgrade to Debian 10.4, did a clean install, and then sure enough, I went on to download for another computer. They have Debian 10.5, non-free. You want to get the non-free live version. That way it's got all your drivers and everything to get your Wi-Fi working. Debian can be kind of problematic with Wi-Fi if you just download the standard version. So when you look it up, you can go on, let's open this up. You can go on your start page, which I recommend. I like my start page. And you just type in Debian, non-free. And it doesn't mean you got to pay for it. It's not that kind of non-free. And then you'll get the link here. And you can see it'll say 10.5.0 live non-free. And if you'll read here, Of course, I need 64-bit, and I want the ISO hybrid. And you'll see exactly the non-free firmware is what they're talking about. It's got your proprietary drivers and stuff for your Wi-Fi cards, video cards, and stuff. So that's pretty much what they're talking about for non-free. It's not that you got to pay for it. And most Linux distros, 99% of them, they don't make you pay to run them, and that's part of what I love about Linux. I don't have to pay to run this. It's an awesome operating system. It's rock solid, especially if you're sticking with Debian. For God's sake, the Space Shuttle runs Debian. Or Space Shuttle. International Space Station runs Debian. Space Shuttle probably ran it too, to tell you the truth, so they'd be compatible. But it's just such a solid distro. And yeah, some of the packages are a little bit older, but I like that personally because I know they're not going to break on me. Updates are kind of few and far between. When they do update, it's an update that needs to be done, like a security patch or something. And it doesn't bug you all the time like Windows does. Windows is horrible. We run Windows at work. In fact, we're even still on Windows 7 on a couple machines. And it's constantly bugging us for updates, and you need to restart your computer, and we'll be in the middle of doing something, and oh God, now we got to restart. How do we do this? So yeah, if you guys value your freedom, and I know most of y'all do, you're Second Amendment advocates, you believe in the Constitution and Bill of Rights, and if you value your freedom, check out Linux. Check out some of the distros. There's some very, very user-friendly ones. You can get into like MX Linux. That's very user-friendly. Peppermint's a real good one for older machines. Real lightweight. Linux Mint. Ubuntu. As much as there's some little issues I don't like about Ubuntu, it's still fairly user-friendly. But yeah, like I said, for me, Debian's a good way to go. But just wanted to kind of throw that out there too. But yeah, I needed to kind of make a video and let y'all kind of know where I'm at here. Let me grab a little drink of coffee, having my morning coffee. I just wanted to make another video, kind of catch everybody up where I'm at. Got my teeth in. Finally got over the, they said it was, you forget it from chicken pox. Shingles. Lucky me, I guess all the extractions, I ended up getting shingles on the right side of my palate. And that's what kind of clued them in. It was only one side. Swelled up, sore, tender. It's like you drink something really scalding hot, it burns your mouth. That's what it felt like. It was horrible. Put me on antivirals. I started hitting the vitamin D real hard. I guess I put it back into remission because I'm good now. And I had my denture fit to reline them. Couldn't use it for 2 weeks because of that issue. Once I did get over it, I used the denture fit. They're fitting good, nice and solid. So yeah, it's good to have them in there and have them working again so I can eat actual food. But yeah, just a real quick video, kind of touching some points. So like I always say, either we stand up for our rights or we can sit by and watch them go away. Y'all have an awesome rest of the day. We'll catch you later. TN.Frank out of here.